Hey guys, Brady here. The Rabbids have come a long way, haven't they? Starting their career in the Wii days with Rayman Raving Rabbids and Rayman Raving Rabbids 2, and later jumping to financial hits like Rabbids Go Home, that was an amazing game, splendid game actually, and Rabbids Travel in Time, which was a 2D platformer, believe it or not. And then they had Rabbids TV Party. Could someone please give me a barf bag? That game is so awful. Um, I don't care if you like it. That's just not a good game for me. I mean, it's nonsensical, but if you like it, that's cool. I mean, you can go ahead and like it. It's a guilty pleasure, if you would call it that. Go watch my guilty pleasure movies. And I may be able to make a guilty pleasure games video eventually. Back to the topic, the Rabbids. So this guy right here, pretty big Rabbids fan ever since the 2000s when they first started with the Wii games, Rayman Raving Rabbids and Rayman Raving Rabbids 2. And yes, I'm the one. I'm unfortunately a guy who played Rayman Raving Rabbids TV Party. Let's not forget that terrible game they had on the Kinect. But Rayman Raving Rabbids 2 was my favorite, especially that trailer. It was like, including the first ever video game that you could play with your butt. Now that is funny. It makes me laugh every time. And even Rabbids Go Home is wonderful. But in the 2010s, they were starting to slowly be dying. Nowadays, their only, let alone known game is Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I can totally agree. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I almost called it Rayman and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, but Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is okay, but when you think of the Rabbids, what's the first thing you think of? Nope, not Rabbids Land. Rabbids Land is the worst. It is a really bad game. But when you think of DS games, you don't really think of anything. Well, that's where Rabbids Rumble comes in. Honestly, guys, can you give this game a friggin' chance? Oh my god, guys. I saw the trailer for this game. People were pissed when they played this game. They were like, this is not a fighting game. This is not what I wanted to play. I wanted to play a fighting game. Super Smash Bros. Fighting game. Street Fighter clone. Mortal Kombat clone. Killer Instinct clone. Well, no. You get an RPG. But, yeah. And there's also a remake of Rabbids Travel in Time called Rabbids Travel in Time 3D. It's a mediocre little 2D platformer, but it's fine. Unlike the other mediocre 2D platformers on 3DS, like the Wreck-It Ralph game on 3DS. Ugh. I have nothing against the movie, I'm just saying. But people freaked when they played this game. They're like, what did I just play? After they completed the game, they're like, Rabbids, you've disappointed me. But you honestly don't know any better, guys. Give this game a chance. Come on. It's a good game, but there's so much stupid stuff. I mean, granted, there is a ton of awesome stuff. You know, like the vast library of characters, something you don't see in Super Smash Bros. Well, at least back in 2010. We had Brawl, and we had a super small library of characters. Well, Brawl came out in 2008. It was when Smash 4 came around in 2014. And we had a much bigger library. And then Smash Ultimate came out in 2018, and now we have a super mega humongous library of characters. But Rabbids Rumble is actually fun, especially when you play it on the 3DS. Like, this game deserves way more praise. Well, and same goes for other DS games that people normally don't pay attention to, like Mario Hoops 3-on-3. That's an amazing game, even though some people may not like sports games. Like some of my friends, they don't like sports games. I like sports games unless it stars Mario or some other thing. or Super Mega Baseball 2. Okay, so why is this game wonderful? Well, the answer, Rabbids. That's the entire premise. Basically, Rabbids are all over this game. But other than that, let's get to the premise. So, what happens? The game is actually starts out on a pretty weird note. When you start up the game, it literally shows the 3DS cartridge getting put in, like, and then from this side, it opens a door with a bunch of Rabbids coming out, and then the music starts, and you're like, "Whoa, that's some awesome music!" And then you start the story mode. There's a story mode, which is like the main part of the game. Which is pretty cool. You start off in Rabbid Party, the first world. They're up to like 6 or 7 worlds. There's Rabbid Party, which is a circus-themed world. Rabbids in Space, which is a space-themed world. Cooking Rabbid, which is a food-themed. Rabbid Sport, no, Bois Sports, sorry. Which is a sports-themed world. Rabbidville, which is a normal... it's a normal land. It's like a normal suburban place, like with citizens, like us. And then you have World Tour, which is basically historical stuff. And then probably the best pun about the entire game, Rabbident Evil is the final level, which is basically like a Halloween world. But Rabbident Evil, oh my god, Ubisoft, you're too clever. Oh my god. But other than that, those are all the worlds. Now for the characters. I don't even want to say all the characters. You got to figure that out for yourself. But there's also mini games, if you want to call it that. There is I can't remember some of the names of the mini games, but I'll give you a few examples. Rabbid Maze is basically like you travel around a maze in a tube, and you get it to the portal, and then travels to the next maze, which is cool. Rabbid Bash, which you have to take out a bunch of rabbids in sort of a whack-a-mole sort of style of gameplay. And then there's also Cow Cannon, where you gotta shoot a cow out of a cannon to hit the rabbids, and most importantly, get a bullseye on the target. And there's also AR card support, which is odd. You can also use AR cards to capture rabbids, which is kind of cool. Each world has like one AR card rabbid, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, there's a lot of good attacks, and they could all be leveled up. There's 3 levels of attacks. Say you have Punch, and it upgrades to Uppercut, and such. And then you got Slap, and it upgrades to Triple Slap. Or Kick, it upgrades to Flying Kick. Or Headbutt, it upgrades to Bull Charge. Or Spin, it upgrades to Drill, and later upgrades to Tornado, which is really cool. And then there's also potions in this game. They're all like, boop, 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 boop. And there's different sort of potions. There's armor potions, curse potions, dodge potions, strength potions, healing potions, luck potions for some reason, and rest potions. Those are all the potions, everybody. Oh, and shield potions. Have fun with those potions, people. Other than that, this is a great game, honestly. So there's also single player versus, of course. There's also local play, which if you play a certain amount of local play matches, you get a specific rabbit, which is kind of cool. And there's also Spot Pass compatibility, which is practically defunct by now, because Spot Pass is defunct because the 3DS is defunct. Hooray! So there's that. I honestly have nothing else to say about this game. But trust me, guys, there is a lot of stereotypes in this game. Almost every rabbit in this game is a stereotype. It's a stereotype of a type of animal, stereotype of a type of religion, stereotype of a type of job, stereotype of a type of historical figure, stereotype of a type of product or movie, stereotype of a sort of monster, stereotype of a sport. Like, there are so many stereotypes, and that's what I love about this game. Every rabbit dresses up in a really silly and bizarre costume. Like, there's this character named Loco Libre, which is basically a luchador, and then there's this character called Walkie. It's a play on words for Rocky, which is kind of cool. And he dresses up like a boxer, like Rocky, which is neat. Then there's also Disco Stew, which is basically a disco character, and then the characters you start out with, Howard, who is a duck. Nice little play on words for Howard the Duck. Not that you would want to reference that movie / character. There's also Jeffrey, which is a giraffe, and then Mr. Flibble, which is a penguin. Mr. Flibble, that's funny. But yeah, is this a good game? I mean, if you compare this to Rabbids Land, this is the better choice, honestly. For me, I despise Rabbid Land. It is not a good party game. It's trying to rip off Mario Party to the max. It was back when Ubisoft was bad. They had Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth. That was a terrible game. In quality, it's pretty good, but the rest of it is just... ugh. But in the end, what can you say about this splendiferous, ubiquitous, illustrious game? You can say 70 billion things. It's creative. It's splendid. It's got a ton of stereotypes, which makes up for all the cliches, and even some special references, which make all those cliches work out pretty cleverly. So that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Can you go away, Rabbit? Frick you. But anyways, that's it for Rabbids Rumble. I highly recommend you guys go check it out. You can probably get it for super cheap on Amazon or eBay, depending on which website you use. So, see you guys next time for another movie review, honestly. Because I got more movies to review. I got a whole stack in my bedroom for me to review. And the next review is going to be from a specific movie that defines sci-fi fiction. It's not Star Wars. It's not Star Trek. Thank God it's not Lost in Space, Jupiter Ascending, or Event Horizon. But it truly is a great spoof satire movie. But anyways, see you guys next time. Sayonara, peeps. Take care.